Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to Math is Easy, step by step. In part 4 video, we went over the rules for converting scientific notation into standard form. And I want to make a very important note. For examples 2, 3, and 4 in finding the sum and finding the difference, that's adding and subtracting, you're going to want to go back and review part 4 rules because we have to manipulate the coefficient in scientific notation form by following the rules in the part 4 video. That'll help you out. All right, I'll discuss that a little further on in part 6, 7, and 8 videos, and I'll try my best to continue to remind you. So, finding the sum using scientific notation. There's a rule you must follow. Okay, so when adding and subtracting with scientific notation, you can only add like terms. If you're not familiar with what like terms, please watch my video. I've made videos on like terms versus unlike terms. So what does that mean? With scientific notation, you must have the same base, and that's a base 10, and the same exponential power in order to add or subtract. Let's take a look at some examples of that. Okay, so let's look at an example. So we have two examples here. One is a yes, the other is a no, right? So our coefficient for yes is 4.1 times 10 to the second power, plus coefficient 3.2 times 10 to the second power. Now you can see here the base is the same 10, and they're both to the second power, which means we could stack up 4.1 and 3.2 and add or subtract. In this example, we're going to add. So that is the correct form based upon the rule. No! 4.1 times 10 to the 7th power plus 3.2 times 10 to the 10th power is not correct. You cannot add these coefficients. But, as I mentioned down below, you can move the decimal in order to manipulate the coefficients, either one, 4.1 or 3.2. You can manipulate by moving the decimals, which will change these exponential powers. And once these powers are the same, then you can add or subtract. Remember, that's the part 4 video in converting scientific notation to standard form. Keep that in mind. I'm going to try to remind you for parts examples number 2 and examples number 3 and examples number 4. This applies to both adding and subtracting. All right, in finding the sum, we have example number 1. In this first example, the exponents will be the same. Of course, we have the same base, that's the times 10. And when the rule said, is the base the same? Yes, it's 10. When the exponents are the same, yes, they're both 4. Then the rule says we can add or subtract the coefficients. So hey, since it's okay, let's stack them up and add them, keeping the decimal aligned in both the addition or subtraction as well as your answer. Okay, since the same base, same exponents, we can add or subtract. You want to stack up both of your coefficients so the decimals line up. Okay, and then we add. 5 plus 4 is 9, 1 plus 4 is 5, keeping the decimals aligned in your answer, as well as when you add or subtract. And then 1 plus 4 is my plus sign. 1 plus 4 is 5. So we keep the same times 10 to the same exponential power. In this case, it was times 10 to the 4th power. The new coefficient is 5.59 times 10 to the 4th power. All right, so in part 6, we're going to go over examples number 2 and number 3. This is where you can see these exponents are not the same. So we're not allowed to add or subtract. And so again, I'd like to remind you that in examples 2, 3, and 4 for this video, you want to refer back to part 4, converting scientific notation into standard form. Those are the rules that you want to follow. Thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Stick around for part 6, 7, 8. At the end of these videos, I'll give you a recommendation of search terms that you can use to find worksheets and practice problems. Thanks for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. Like, follow, share, and please subscribe.